social platforms and guest networks. Our mission is simple yet profound: to spread hope and encouragement, connecting our audience with stories that uplift and inspire.
So whether you're a business owner looking to expand your reach or someone eager to share your journey of impact, our platform is designed to highlight the positive differences we can all make.
Getting involved with our show is easy and rewarding. First, you get to be a guest on the show. This is a fantastic opportunity for brand recognition as you share your story with our engaged listeners.
And Frank and I are now offering Q&A Mastermind monthly sessions. And these are not just informative experiences, but we actually help with your business on strategic insights and provide a supportive group setting.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we? And if you're looking to drive targeted lead generation, consider sponsoring our show. We offer multiple tiers and customizable options to fit your marketing needs perfectly.
We have had over 350 guests, and they have been able to brand themselves and share all the goodness that they are doing here in community.
And it's not just about numbers. Our approach opens up a space for vulnerability, helping our guests genuinely connect with audiences. This authentic interaction is a powerful catalyst for community and business growth. Take, for example, we have partners here at Be Encouraged, and since getting involved with our platform, they've seen a staggering 900% growth in just 7 months here in the Springs.
So if you're ready to make a significant impact, join us today at BeEncouraged.net.
And let's make the world a more hopeful and connected place, one story at a time. We are currently at Cole Harbor, our studio sponsor, right?
So beautiful.
Oh, what a wonderful place. We get such great feedback about them and what they're doing. What's so great about Cole Harbor?
Yes. So the owner, Jeremiah Callahan's just phenomenal. His attention to detail from the sound, from the aesthetics, he even got me a little microphone holder for our live Instagrams, Frank. I mean, just the attention to detail to service the business owners here who work out of here is phenomenal.
And what you always feel welcomed here. You always feel a part of this community. It's the most welcoming place that I've ever engaged. And we have some amazing people that work out of here as well.
We do. And they actually have a greeting host, which is incredible during their peak hours.
What an idea, right?
Yes. But some of the people working out of here, you just want to be here just to say hi to them. Like Chantel Bridges.
Ooh, and Melinda Joy Mingo.
Yes.
And our friend Tom
Carlson.
Yes, indeed. Wonderful people. And Lisa and I also engaged their facility in Denver called Co-working, which is a fantastic facility.
Gorgeous. Yes. And we have to do a huge shout out for Alan Briggs.
Yes.
He is our right-hand man, especially in this podcast studio. Mm-hmm. He has given us great wisdom and insight on how to use all the bougie stuff that they have in here.
The bougie stuff. Yeah.
It is. It's high end.
It is. It's wonderful. We're so blessed to be able to be here at Cole Harbor. And you need to come in and do a 14-day free trial of this facility. Lisa, tell them a little bit about some of the great things that Cole Harbor offers.
Yes. Well, their membership starts at $25 on up, and that gets them 24/7 access to a beautiful, gorgeous space. And not only that, Frank, you know what they have?
What?
Amazing pour-over coffee, which all of my friends love, and I love the tea. They have hot tea, and they have iced coffee, and they have sparkling water, all the things. It's so beautiful here, so come and check them out.
Well, come down and join us at Corporate and Tech Center Drive. Beautiful location over here. You can't miss us. We're sponsored by the great Joshua Geary with Crescio. And Joshua just won Hispanic Rising Professional of the Year. Yay! Hey, he's been with us so long, and he is really produces and helps us with this show.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Cressio.
Yes, so Cressio, they offer pay what you can consultations, and they specialize in not only just chat GPT, but they will work with your business to help you get sustainable and then leave and leave you successful. Their goal is not to stay with you forever. Their goal is to keep you moving with excellence.
Indeed. And AI work, AI is the rage right now. Joshua is an expert in AI, and he and his team can help you navigate the sometimes scary road of AI and what's happening, and deliver work with you that you won't have to worry about all the myths about AI. They know how it works for you. And what I do love, Lisa, about Cressio is the pay what you can consultations to the
Absolutely.
underserved southeast sector of our city, reaching out and trying to help people.
Absolutely. So check them out at Cressio.com.
Indeed. We're sponsored by Brandon Kurt from Planet Duck.
Yes, he's the owner of Planet Duct, and he has the largest vacuums, strongest vacuums. And what is his slogan again, Frank?
Yeah, they're stronger than the vacuum of space. And Brandon and his family, with his 3 children, are just incredible. I know them personally.
Me too.
We've had a great opportunity to know them. He's a great family man. 25 years, been married to, what is his wife's name? Gava?
Gava. And she's a beautiful artist. And yes, they have an amazing farm as well.
They do. And he loves Star Wars. So if you're into that scene, give Brandon a call. He loves Star Wars, all things Star Wars-y.
Yes, not only that, but he loves the Colorado Springs. His give back throughout all local businesses in town is amazing, and we sure do appreciate him in town. They do have the strongest vacuums in Colorado,
Indeed.
which will help you get amazing air quality for your home.
Indeed. They find all kinds of stuff in our vent systems. They've done my house as well, and so many of my friends.
Yeah.
They really are the cream of the crop when it comes to duct cleaning.
They are.
And one last thing, many of you didn't know this, but Brandon has mentored many small business people in this community.
Yes.
His give back to our community is exceptional. So make sure to look them up because they are.
Stronger than the vacuum of space.
Yes, they are.
We are sponsored by the lovely, incredible Karen Butcher with Westco Insurance.
Yes, Karen is an amazing insurance agent doing home, casualty, all these different types of insurance. And here's the deal. She has some of the same customers that she had when she started 24 years ago. They're still engaging her this many years later, which means she has to have some incredible customer service and some attentive skills. Right?
To include me.
And me.
She's helped me a lot over the years.
She's incredible.
So we really appreciate Karen Butcher and all the wisdom and savviness that she has in the insurance industry. So check her out, Karen Butcher, Westco Insurance.
Please. Yeah, welcome to the Be Encouraged show with Frank.
And Lisa.
We're so glad that you join us on Mondays and align with us in our goal of infusing hope and encouragement throughout the world.
That's right. We are now offering 2 free guests on our show every single Monday from 11 to 12 or 12 to 1 Mountain Standard Time. But we also have an amazing new venture that we've started this year, Frank.
Indeed. We have the free hug campaign that's starting that Lisa and I are going to go out in community, offer free hugs. Hugs have medicinal value that's really, really strong, and we want to use that to help humans.
Absolutely. And we are also going around the world on live Instagrams. So our ask of you is, if you know of any amazing business owners out in other countries or across the nation, please introduce them to us at lisa@beencouraged.net.
Yeah, make sure that you
email her. Yes, and she'll get it done for us, and we'll make sure that we highlight your business. You know, really the value of this is exposure. We get the opportunity to expose your business to our growing audience and get so that you can be seen and people can engage your business.
And we do offer sponsorship levels starting at $50 on up. So depending on how much marketing you have in your budget, we would love to help you get maximum exposure both on our website as well as our show.
Indeed. We love humans here at the Be Encouraged show. And the reason we exist is to create value for you.
The real value of sponsoring our show is joining us on our mission to infuse hope and encouragement throughout the world.
Aligning missional values is very important to us, and we are looking for businesses that align with us and our values and what we're trying to give out to the world.
Yes, this is about social impact, Frank.
Indeed. We know how important that is in this community and around the world. So join us in our mission to create social impact for your business.
Hello, I'm Frank, and this is
Lisa.
We want to welcome you to the Be Encouraged show, where each week we reach an audience of 45,000 potential listeners
And growing.
across our social platforms and guest networks. Our mission is simple yet profound: to spread hope and encouragement, connecting our audience with stories that uplift and inspire.
So, whether you're a business owner looking to expand your reach or someone eager to share your journey of impact, our platform is designed to highlight the positive differences we can all make.
Getting involved with our show is easy and rewarding. First, you get to be a guest on this show. This is a fantastic opportunity for brand recognition as you share your story with our engaged listeners.
And Frank and I are now offering Q&A Mastermind monthly sessions. And these are not just informative experiences, but we actually help with your business on strategic insights and provide a supportive group setting.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we? And if you're looking to drive targeted lead generation, consider sponsoring our show. We offer multiple tiers and customizable options to fit your marketing needs perfectly.
We have had over 350 guests, and they have been able to brand themselves and share all the goodness that they are doing here in community.
And it's not just about numbers. Our approach opens up a space for vulnerability, helping our guests genuinely connect with audiences. This authentic interaction is a powerful catalyst for community and business growth. Take, for example, we have partners here at Be Encouraged, and since getting involved with our platform, they've seen a staggering 900% growth in just 7 months here in the Springs.
So if you're ready to make a significant impact, join us today at beencouraged.net.
And let's make the world a more hopeful and connected place, one story at a time.
We are currently at Cole Harbor, our studio sponsor, right?
So beautiful.
Oh, what a
Love it.
wonderful place. We get such great feedback. Hey, welcome everyone to the Be Encouraged Show. I am Frank.
I'm Lisa.
And we are so glad to have you with us on Motivation Monday. We provide a platform for entrepreneurs and community-focused individuals to expand their reach and to create a positive impact in the Colorado Springs community and beyond. And we're joining you live today from Colorado Springs with some great guests as always. Now, if you want to join us internationally, make sure you go to our website and select international via Instagram to join us live from anywhere in the world.
So today's show is sponsored by Crestio, who offers to help social impact companies with pay what you can consultations to increase your leads amongst other things. Visit Crestio.com to learn more and check out the flyer that we provided you guys later.
Thank you.
Yeah, take a look at that. Lisa, we got two guests with us today on the Be Encouraged Show with Frank and Lisa, and we are so excited to be able to talk to these gentlemen, and no one introduces like you do. So I am going to hand that off and tell us who we got today.
Yes, so to my right, we have Mr. Kristian Moore, founder of Create Assistance. Kristian combines his expertise in AI and holistic health to create innovative tools for high-performance living. Drawing on his background in nutritional therapy and immunology, he focuses on managing autoimmune challenges and empowering individuals to overcome chronic health issues with practical, evidence-based solutions. Welcome, Kristian.
Yes.
And
that's probably one of your favorite humans already, right? He was speaking your language.
yeah, I
wasn't
do
he?
love all things health.
Yes.
And to his right is Mr. John Lee, with over 13 years of experience in leadership and strategic innovation. John specializes in business acquisition and AI consulting. His work helps companies streamline operations, manage risks, and achieve long-term growth through tailored strategies.
And before we go on, John, what's the name of your company?
Marauders Solutions.
Excuse me?
Marauders Solutions.
Oh, that sounds
How do you spell
military.
that?
I
It
got
is. Marauders,
got it?
M-A-R-A-U-A-R-D-S Solutions.
I got it. Yeah. So is that like from your military background?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's kind of a joke between my wife and I. And the reason I say that is we've reversed roles now that I've retired out of the Army. So I did 21 years in the Army.
Thank you.
No worries. It's like saying thank you for being married to your wife.
Oh my gosh.
I loved it. I'd still be in, but I have small children. I got a 13-year-old, 9-year-old, and a 7-year-old.
Oh, wow, you're busy.
So I'm busy. And beforehand, my wife and I were flipped bikes. So she was the nurturer, I was the breadwinner. And I told her I'm going to retire out of the Army. She's like, all right, well, I'm going to go start up my passion. She's a superintendent out at Banning Lewis Ranch.
Oh, her baby is.
They just made state at cheer on
they
Friday.
did.
My daughter's a flyer on the team. It was amazing.
So she runs the athletic department, and she's assistant principal out there. And I went home, and I became primary daycare facilitator for my family. With that, I coined the phrase. I was a marauder when I was in. Now I'm a wet nurse, and from True Grit, I went from marauder to wet nurse. So
Not bad,
It's
man.
not bad.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of now they're all in school. They were past the diaper stage. We thank God.
Yes.
And they're all kind of independent, autonomous. So I'm able to like drop them off at school, go do my dad thing, pick them up, I make dinners, take care of them, help them out with homework, and after that I work on business consulting, and that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I love to do. So that's why I named it Marauder Solutions.
I like that.
Oh.
That's so cool, John Lee.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's off the chain.
Yeah.
Man. I like it. And also, thank you for giving us a short bio.
Yeah.
So, we always appreciate short bios,
Yes.
right? So people come in here very proud of themselves, obviously.
Well, it's natural to just talk about
Yeah,
Yeah.
but after you tell them short bios.
Yes.
Right, but that's another thing. But Kristian, I've known Kristian for quite some time. For I don't know, maybe 5 years now.
It's coming on 5. I think this will be 5.
Wow.
5 years,
Yes, sir.
yeah. We've known each other, man. You're a brilliant young man.
I appreciate
That's
it.
what I've always appreciated about you. But before we get into your brilliance, Tell us a little bit about Kristian. I mean, your life, your history, your story.
Personal story.
Yeah. So my own personal journey really began in entrepreneurship and looking outside of myself for value.
Stop him, Lisa.
Pause. You said you were going to do that.
You see where I'm driving. You'll see where I'm
I
driving.
know you. I know 5 years.
Wait, hold on. Start. Where were you born?
where
Do you
was
have
you?
siblings?
Okay,
Like
back.
life
Yeah.
story.
I was trying to get them to the
no.
action point.
No.
Story is what drives.
All right.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Aurora, Colorado. Mother, father were together. I had all 6 of us, so I'm the oldest of 6 siblings.
Oh,
We
wow.
got 4 siblings.
No wonder why you're so
You're not even
intelligent.
half as many as me.
Oh, I know you.
15.
Yeah, they took the cake back in the day, man.
Yeah.
They toned down a little bit as you kind of get down into the earlier generations, man.
Are you a
'cause,
Catholic?
So my father was Catholic turned atheist. So
Oh, okay.
My mother was, Christian, and I'm not sure why they. I'm not quite sure.
They liked you all.
They apparently liked each other enough, to keep going.
Yeah.
They were together for 8 years. No, 15 years, and then the separation really was the catalyst for myself. Really discovering who I was, stepping out into the high school ages, and really trying to figure out that identity. It was a transformative and painful experience.
Yeah, I bet.
How fast do you want me to move?
Was
on
it
this one?
shocking to you when that happened, though? Like being the oldest, because now all of a sudden that put a lot on your shoulders.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
my mom immediately elevated me to parental status essentially
Yeah.
over my kiddos or my siblings. And goodness
me
sakes,
too.
and
Yeah.
I mean, it set me up for success once I started having kids. But goodness sakes, it robbed my childhood.
Yeah,
Mine too.
exactly. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Childhood, what's that? A new dance or?
Yeah,
Right.
the next
Right,
project
yeah.
we're working on together. You know what I mean? Because the house tasks, the house chores never ended, and I just watched my mom continuously wearing this load, this burden. And my father was his own right in regard doing everything he could, but conflict makes things messy. Emotions make things messy.
Yeah, being human makes things messy.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Exactly.
So we're good at mess.
Yeah, and we want to get better at fixing the mess,
Yeah.
cleaning up after ourselves, if you will,
Right.
and leaving something better behind for the next generation.
Absolutely. So you went on from there and you got married, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, at that point, I was still, before we jumped to there, my father actually left between the point when I stepped out of high school into the workforce, if you will, and started getting married and having my own kids. So he committed suicide in 2016. He unfortunately ended his life. Around this time, we're coming on 8 years to the day almost in like 3 days. So it's an anniversary time. It's a special time of year just to look back and remember. But yeah, these the transition point there was a whole nother level of independence because not only was I now elevated to a secondary role, but then it was, well, who are you? Who's going to be the one to carry on this legacy? You know what I mean? Who's going to be the one to carry on his name and what he did? And that was actually where my business began, was from the concepts that he planted when I was really young. But started getting married, having kids, and that was actually the entry of the healthy living, healthy wellness, holistic wellness. Because my wife, when she was pregnant with the first, I don't know if they were trying to be rude, probably not, but they said something along the lines of, she needs to go lose some more weight, you know what I mean, to a dietitian. And I was like, she doesn't need to do that. And they're like, well, explain the medical reason. I'm like, well, we could do this at home. We got this, you know what I mean? And so I started educating myself, started learning, and turned into a full-blown certification program on holistic health, and launched out. Actually, the first business was called Healthy Babies, Easy Pregnancies. Was the first thing I ever started.
Yeah.
You would have loved the concept if I had it when I met you, Frank. But yeah, it was all around essentially how to help women and their partners go through preconception all the way through postpartum.
Awesome. What year was that?
This was. Goodness sakes. This would have been back in like 2020, 2021.
Okay.
Long ago.
Yeah.
No, not that long ago. But my first was born in 2020, and so it was the early parts of that year that I started that education journey, and then ended up launching out with the concept, helped a few clients. But I am not a woman, so it just didn't impact as well as I had hoped. Didn't resonate. My story, I feel like, is very bent towards the men's side. So now that's where that transition point has come.
Well, you're a man.
Yeah.
Well, does
That's
it
good.
follow that it would be bent that way?
Well, we all have a different story, right?
Right.
You know, I
Yeah.
can speak to a certain demographic of
Yeah.
men as well. You know, and even with your background, your military experience, you can speak to a very specific demographic.
Absolutely.
Oh, sure,
With yourself,
yeah.
Yeah.
We all have that.
Ex-military myself as well.
Precisely.
Well, I mean, when I first got pregnant in '89, literally, it,
Roll.
no, that's not right. Wait, not '89. Excuse me. I was thinking that was right before I graduated high school. I graduated in '90. No, '98. I got pregnant. I had 97. It was '97. I have 4 kids. Don't mind me. 97. And back then, the only wisdom we had was a book called "What to Expect When You're Expecting."
They tried to give me that one too.
That was it.
It was like
there was
edition
no.
4 or something.
It was that was the first book. I guess they have it in more editions now.
I
But
guess.
anyway, there was no wisdom. There was no nothing. I was scrambling as a parent, so it's really
Yeah.
cool that you took the initiative as a dad to pour into other families going through that mission. Because when you're trying to have a baby, it's a lot.
Well, I was actively involved. Like that was probably the most impactful time of my life, was being able to help deliver the children with my wife. Like,
That's
oh my
awesome.
goodness, talk about transformative. I don't know how close you've been able to get to that
I didn't do
that portal. It takes like the process of actually working through the delivery. It changed my life, and that was where, like, when I told the story of how my wife got to experience it, when she would tell the story of how she got to experience it, we got a lot of feedback of like frustration and pain that would come out of people, because they were like, oh, I wasn't given that opportunity. I was told, as the man, I had to go sit in the corner and wait outside, and like the woman's
I
like
was
trying to
there.
figure out how to navigate it on her own. And most people don't have a story of, we came together and we worked together and we brought this baby into the world. Like,
Do you have home delivery?
the second one was home delivery. The
Yeah.
first one was a birth center, Beginnings Birth
Wow.
Center, is where we did it. Transformative.
2
Life-changing.
girls, right?
2 girls.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How old are they now?
3 and 4.
Oh,
It's a special.
Congratulations. That's cool.
yeah,
Extremely
your whole
special.
countenance changed when you
Yeah.
mentioned them.
Oh, no.
Right.
No, it's the whole
I
thing.
love it.
That's what makes it come alive. You know,
Yes.
that's what found that drive.
Yeah,
is-
that's awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, let's move to John Lee, and we'll come back to you, talking a little business stuff.
I
What
know,
you got
I'm
going
sorry.
on? Yeah. Sure. Who is John Lee?
So I am a father of 3, 21 years in the Army. I child of God, and I am driven on this earth to create positive change.
And what created that, John Lee?
Really, it was the lack of scarcity in my house. I grew up, and like every time my dad pulled his wallet out, George Washington got a nosebleed.
Oh my God.
So it was like it was a different time. It was just,
yeah.
Time of scarcity. Didn't have a whole lot of anything except each other, and I realized.
Where'd you grow up in?
So I grew up outside of Kansas City, and they were farmers and small business owners, and like I wanted nothing to do with that life. So I was 19 years old. I was working at a factory out there, and 9/11 struck. I knew that I was wanting to join. So this was the best catalyst for me to actually go out and enlist. I went out and enlisted. I remember on September 12th there was a line around the block, and it was a different time. And I enlisted. I went through basic training at AIT, and there's like, congratulations, you're going to Korea. I'm like, and this is before Iraq happened. It's like there was like Afghanistan on the other side. Like, you sure?
Yeah.
And like I was like, I signed up to deploy. It's like, oh, you'll have plenty of time to do that. I'm like, I didn't even know what that meant. But yeah, so like that became like my entire journey of like who I am. I realized very quickly what hard work meant, because to me, I had like an internal itch, like when I was a young man in the Army, like I couldn't kick my feet up at night and like enjoy relaxing, because I knew I didn't give what I was expected to give. And like I was finding it was harder to work, to get out of work, than it was actually doing it. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like everybody else is telling me, like, hey, you're just don't do that. Go, sham out, go hide out. Like this, it didn't sit well internally with me. So like I realized very quickly, if I did work and I did it well, I would get promoted. And I'm like, I got promoted through the ranks very quickly. And I just really, like I said, enjoyed the camaraderie, the hard work, the discipline to focus, and like having the awesome responsibility of other people sending their children in for me to mold, shape, and deploy them. into fully functioning teams. And, that was probably like the highlight of my life. And like, I really enjoyed that. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to be a soldier, and that's what I did. And I did it for a long time. But like eventually, my oldest in 2021, she was like, "Dad, do we have to move again?" And I'm like, "No, we are not moving again. I'm already past the hump." And I just like, I'm going to go out and do something else. And like I said, I grew up outside of Kansas. We were outside of Nashville at this point in time. I was contemplating like what our life strategy was going to be like. We were out here from 18 to 20 in down Fort Carson down here. And we always had a great time. There was hockey, lacrosse, skiing, mountain biking, fly fishing, like kayaking. Like, there's so much stuff to do. And the one allure that we had out here was there was 4 seasons and no bugs.
Yes.
So
That's
it was
a big thing.
Big thing.
It was March of 21. I went out there. I'm sitting on the back porch, and I'm 7 o'clock at night. I can't stop sweating, and the first mosquito comes up, and I'm like, I walked inside. I was like, "Ashley, pack your bags. We're moving back to Colorado." She's like, "Are you serious?" Like, as cancer, we are doing this. And I told her, I was like, "Look, if we don't do this now, because we were comfortable. We were in a good spot, good schools. She had a good job, and she was she's like, I'm having to cough it up again." I'm like, "Look, I get it. We're going to be successful no matter what because of our work ethic."
Yes.
And that's what's frightening, like, a little bit, because like as a middle-aged 40-year-old man, like, have I just begun or am I half over? And that's what I look at, like, that's what kind of frightens me at 2 o'clock in the morning, like, how much do I have left to give out? And like, I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
And that's what's awesome.
I'm in my 60s and I'm just getting started.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's always a new. Yeah. People say, "Are you going to retire?" I say, "No, I'm too busy retiring."
Yes.
Exactly.
On all levels of the word. On all levels of the word.
Yes.
Indeed, man. Yeah. I was put here for a specific purpose.
That's right.
And we need to find what we're our specific. That's why people talk to me about burnout, right? Say, "Oh man, my job burns me out. I'm burnt out. And I said, "Well, probably if you're burnt out, you're not doing what you were designed to do."
Agreed.
That's right.
Right? That's where burnout comes from.
Yeah.
Because you're doing stuff because maybe you're making a lot of money or something but you weren't designed to be there.
Right tool, wrong application.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's like, what I felt for years, because I've been put through the crucible so many times, like, I cannot not lose. And that's the way I've always viewed it. Like, I never wanted to be that old man sitting on the front porch. Man, I wish I would have done X, Y, and Z. And just get out there and
That's
grab
right.
hold of it and just ride it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But like, you win and you
Pivot,
learn.
baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
There
We've
we go.
pivoted so much.
We pivoted
Yeah.
this enterprise.
Yes.
Yes. And we'll do some more.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
We will,
Yeah.
because we are not settling.
There you go.
And
That's
whatever
right.
we need to do to reach where it is that we were designed to reach, we're going to do it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we are. So, man, that is so awesome. I know, thank you for your service. I get that as well. I was in the United States Air Force for 8 years. One thing that I did find in common that you were doing, because you're taking on the bulk of the home life work
Yes.
now. My daughter's a CEO. Her husband stays home. They have 8 children, blended
Oh, my
family.
goodness.
Yeah. So, and he loved. I was out there. He said, "You're the first man that ever really lifted me up in the space of being a house husband."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Right?
big deal.
It is.
Yeah.
And culture sometimes doesn't allow for that.
That's right.
They think there's something wrong, well, she is incredible in what she does, my daughter. And I'm saying that not just because she's my daughter, because she is.
Yeah.
And she's an incredible high wage earner. So why wouldn't he stay home and be able to do that?
Yeah.
And stuff. It makes
And those
absolute
years go
sense.
by so quickly.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
They do. Yeah. So we got a little bit of background. Kansas, right?
So
Kansas, Aurora. My
sir.
son lives in Aurora now.
Yeah.
Randy. Yeah. So Aurora, you tell us, and I know you know my quote, right? That I love to
Yes.
ask people. Can I ask him that?
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
It's just like when I'm home with my wife, I always ask for permission. So Lisa makes me feel very comfortable.
Well,
I can do
it's
it
all
again.
about that second perspective. Keeps us safe. For sure.
Hey, Christian, you know Robert Frost in his quote, he says, I should be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. What has been your road less traveled?
Yeah, I think the first thing was really just taking the alternative medicine pathway by the horns. You know, I got diagnosed with celiac, and I got diagnosed with scoliosis, autoimmune, and a degenerative bone, essentially, disease in the back. And I was told I would never, they were like, you'll never be able to live a normal life, you have a lower life, blah, 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 you know, all of these things. And I was just like, there's no way that's the case. There's no way that I just have this now and they don't know where it came from and they don't know what to fix it. There's got to be an answer. And so that was really the first dive into of like, there's got to be an answer for this health. And then after my father's suicide and after my own, you know, conflict and situation that led to my own re-encountering of these single dads communities online, the thing that I saw was like this immense need, and you know, and I was like, okay, how do we meet this immense need of all of these men, all of these dads that are struggling with the same place that my father was struggled and lost the battle with, and that I've looked at and I will not lose that battle with, you know, is the point. But how do we reach these people, you know? And so that pathway point, I wanted to follow my passion so bad, but going the other direction and finding a way to almost in a sense a tent making industry, to be able to actually support the impact that I wanted to see.
Let me ask you this while
piece.
you're talking. You're doing a good job. I'm not interrupting you because you're not doing a good
I
job.
appreciate you, brother.
But you're kind of talking around the edges of what you're enduring right now,
Yeah.
and what's happened, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you because I kind of know, right?
Yes, sir.
Some of the I want you to say it though,
I appreciate
because
you.
there's a lot of people out in this community that are going to say me too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And people don't know this journey because it feels different. It's normally the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit. You know what I'm
appreciate you,
talking
brother.
about.
I appreciate you. Yeah, so 2 years ago, you know, essentially dealt with, I mean, it was a long lead up to the point of impact, but it was a process of watching communication break down, you know, in my relationship and my marriage, and eventually resulted in a kick in the head. I got kicked in the head October in 2022. And it changed everything, you know. I remember just looking at the situation and kind of almost from outside my body in the moment, just being like, "What is happening? How did we get here?" And then the reaction to it was like, I can't let this be a cycle that my daughters think is okay. I can't let this be a cycle of love that my daughters grow into and begin to inherit in their own relationships and look for men who do that, or look to, you know, be some type of abusive personality towards others. And I was like, I got to make a change. And so that was the big shift that re-exposed me to that community, you know, the single dads community. And I just saw my dad in all of them. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like there's so many of these guys who are struggling in a place of hopelessness and don't understand how to get away through. So at first I tried to reach them, you know, I was like, hey guys, I can help you find a path. And they're like, you're young, you're going through it, you know, you don't have, you know, and also I'm broke, I don't have any money, you know. And so I was like, how do we, you know, meet this demographic that is both struggling financially, but also in one of the most fragile points of their life? Yeah. And that was where I, you know, learning the pathway of how to make money online was now what I am able to give to them, and give them a pathway where I could follow their passion, follow their dreams, and actually benefit their community by starting with themselves, starting with their family.
Yeah, see, there's most people in this culture don't think that men get physically abused.
Generally, yeah. I can't tell you how many
Right.
walls I hit, you know, still hit technically.
Did your dad go through that as well? Or
So my dad was accused of the domestic violence on his side. I don't believe he was ever type of you know, he never
He was
raised a
accused of
fist,
it.
but he was accused of it on that side, you know. And the story is the story. There was no, you know, evidence either way, one or the other. He ended up getting vindicated by a judge and later on from an appeals court because there was no substantiated evidence of the claims. But that was where I took that. I was like, man, if I don't remove myself from this situation, like I'm now at risk for being in an accused position.
Yourself,
or even stepping into that place, like out of retaliation or frustration or anger. Like we're all human, we all have our weaknesses, and so being able to take that, and be like, no way, run. Like, it reminds me of Joseph's story with Potiphar's wife, right? Of like, get out ASAP.
Turn my jacket off.
I
Drop
left
it.
with, and I left with nothing. I went 6 weeks homeless while I was waiting for an apartment to approve, and once I got into the apartment, creativity exploded. And I just was like, everything began to be like limitless possibilities, and just dove into that grindstone head first.
Thank you for sharing that.
Are you back together again?
No. No.
Oh, okay, sorry. I don't know any of this.
So I didn't.
You guys are giving little driblets.
I recently reached out for reconciliation, just for the sake of like, she had started going to a Jehovah's Witness community here in town, and I was like, amazing. Tell me more. And she was like, I'm reading the Bible and I love the Lord. I was like, what? Like, let me talk to me. Like, I know.
Yeah, who are you?
Yeah,
what are you doing
happened?
on the other end of this line?
And so that's where I was like, this is amazing. Like, I remember teaching her out of the scripture the Sunday that after I found that out, and I was like, I went to the same service at the same church as she was going to, obviously on a different day out of respect. I'm like, look, I'll keep your space, but I want to know what my girls are getting taught. I want to know what you're going to be teaching them. And it's the same, it's the baseline. There's a little bit of, nuances and differences in all of the different denominations, but it's the same scripture, the same Jesus, the same, Son of God that died and rose again on the third day. It's the same story. So I'm like, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, that would be too big of a deep dive for me to comment on that one.
No, you're good. You're good.
The pastor's ears rise when someone says that. And that's what I am, that's what I'll always be, right? Internally. So, yeah. But anyway, we're glad that there's some positive coming out of that, my friend, etc. So what are you doing, man, what's your value to our community?
Besides raising awesome kids.
Besides not being a chief encouragement officer. No, I'll tell you, like, it's amazing to be a father, because before, I think it was like, the hand that, like, I think during Napoleon's time, it was the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. And that's, I think, what we kind of look at. We look back at it, but it's really the truth. That's the training. What are we doing training up the next generation? Mm-hmm. And I work with outreach in my church. I work with my kids.
Where do you go to church?
Over here at Rock Family.
You go to Rock?
Yeah, I go to Rock Family.
Dean?
Yeah, Pastor Dean. He's very, very eccentric. I like it.
He's cool.
We've been going there for a while now, ever since we were here in 2018. And so what I bring to the market value is I just bought my first business. I bought Rush Alarm. It's a security camera company here in town.
What is it called?
Rush Security and Alarm.
Oh.
So if you go to rushalarm.com, that's all me now. I bought that out last Thursday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. It's life is full of interesting surprises.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was coming out of the Army, everybody's like, well, you need to go out and get a job. I'm like, okay, you need to make 6 figures. Check. Got it. And I'm like, I am ensnared in this prison of corporate world. And I'll never forget, I got a talking to it was probably about this time last year. We were on Zoom call, so like everybody's remote. Like nobody's in the Colorado office, but I'm in the Colorado office because I have to be. Like I get it. They have to pay for the lights on, water to run.
Right.
So I'm not hating. I was hired full remote. Then it was like 3 days a week. Then it was like 4 days a week. Then it's like 5 days a week. And I'm like, okay, I understand why. Person shows up on Zoom call late, like 5 minutes. So just in my own vernacular, say, hey, welcome to the party, princess. And apparently that was like stepping on a bear trap. And he thought it was funny. I thought it was funny, but somebody else took offense. I'm like, okay. And after that conversation, I realized they're in the right spot. I'm in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, this is a new level of weirdness I've never experienced. Because that, to me, is like, that doesn't even like register on my own litmus test of like, John? because I was in the Army for a while, and there's a little bit difference in dichotomy how we talk to each other.
Oh, yeah.
And like, okay, like this is weird. It's like, you can't be doing that. We get HR in there, and I'm like, I'm not going to tell you how like that conversation went, because I basically asked, I was like, so you're going to write me up on this page? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, you're probably gonna have like, it was like a Demolition Man, Sylvester Stallone with the seashells. Like, just start listing off like obscenities. I'm like, so I can't say this, and like it got uncomfortable. I was like, you're gonna have to produce 3 or 4 of these because this is part of who I am. I'm in the wrong spot, and like it really like so like a whole bunch of drama went down in my corporate world. Like, and it wasn't like bad. It was just like I wasn't expecting it to be like a certain ways, certain parameters, and I started like, okay, I have a life to live, and this is not fulfilling. Like, I'm getting paid well. Obviously, I'm in the wrong spot. So I went down the rabbit hole of like Bitcoin miners to real estate. So I picked up some of those. And then it was like, I listened to this woman named Cody Sanchez on YouTube, and she talks about buying businesses and starting businesses and acquisitions. Like, you can buy businesses. Like, okay, tell me more. And then, so it kind of went down from there. I went on like some of the websites around town that sell businesses, and I started reaching out. And I got a couple of them, the brokers reached out, and I got a couple of the owners that reached out. I'm like, okay, let me go talk to the owners. Like, someone was like, didn't match. And I was like, finally, rush alarm. I'm like, okay, AI's not coming to come out, set up my security alarms. It's not coming out to clear your bathtub. When it gets clogged, it is not coming out to change your AC. When your HVAC breaks down.
That's right.
I'm like, I need to get into this.
Yes.
Because like I was on chat.
You're trying to be AI proof?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have
See how fast everybody can do it, huh?
you have to future-proof your concepts.
That's great.
You have to like until like the T-1000 Terminator comes out. It's like, I'm here to replace your HVAC.
Yeah.
Like someone else is gonna have to do it.
Yes.
And I was like, how can I be an owner of that? And so I remember my first conversation with the owner. I told him, I was like, look, you can have the money you want, or you can have the terms you want, but you can't have both. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, okay, I'll give you $10 million for this thing. He's like, you will? I was like, yeah, $1 a day. How's that sound? He's like, we're too far apart. I'm like, okay. So I kept on like wearing him down. I was showing up like every Thursday, like, hey man, here's a cup of coffee. Want to talk to you? He's like, hey, we talked like we're too far apart. I'm like, I don't think we are. I was like, because you just haven't worked out the terms right. I've worked them out in my head and on paper. You're just not aligning to it. And so like, it was, Stan's such a great guy. And like, so him and I was like, hey, let's just partner on this. I don't know anything about this, but I know this is the value I bring to the table. And so like it's kind of like a really good match for me as a start. Like I'm sure it's like the gateway drug of like all business acquisitions. You got to buy your first one. So that's why I'm really excited about it. And I'm like, how do I buy another one? I'm like, and because
9 days in, he's asked.
I know.
Well, I mean,
do you know your staff yet?
Yes, I do. So,
okay.
No, and like I listened to like, so I was up there at this. It's called Enterprise Through Acquisition up in Denver. I've been attending that. It's a meetup once a month, and I've met some really good business owners up there, and like they have different companies. So I kind of like copied their homework. Like you read a book, one of those books, somebody's got 20 years invested to it. So I was like reading the first couple chapters. Does it make sense? Go on ChatGPT. What's the highlights of the next like subsections? Like if it's worth reading, I go read it. If it's not, no harm, no foul. Just return to Amazon. We're going to move forward. Same thing with them. They let me copy their homework. Like, hey, this is how you do this. Retention, this is how you do this. Lead generation, this is how you do this. Like, I can do that. Like, so what is your pain tolerance? Okay, now how many businesses do you want to own? Okay, and that's where that's the value I bring to the market table.
So Rush, security and alarm. Give us just a little summary of what the business does.
So basically, imagine ADT at a family business.
Yeah.
So we monitoring access, the constant surveillance. So we go in, we set up an appointment, come in there, set up your house to be wired like Ring does, and we set it up at a mom and pop level. Instead of charging you $250 because your door access on your came loose or it doesn't work, we come out there, we work you in during a week for free. Just, hey, we'll make sure like you have a good working product and with a good positive relationship as the working man and woman here in Colorado Springs.
And it's local dispatch?
It's a local dispatch, yes.
Okay. And it's in the Springs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right on. I thought it might have been in Rush. Yeah. Well, thanks, John. You know, Kristian, you're moving. Give our audience what Kristian Moore is bringing and why they should engage him.
Yeah, so as of kind of just to speak on the note of just the sign of the times, 2 years ago I had the impact and really with the reconciliation doorways that have opened only in the past like 4 weeks, you know what I mean? Just of like communication in a whole different light and whole different regard. It's marked a turning point and a pivot point for me to be able to really consider how to bring these things that I've left to the wayside, the nutritional health, the wellness, the mental health, and then mixing that with the new of everything that I've done over the past 2 years. And I weaved it together into a challenge, kind of styled. It's a Friday challenge, create on Friday or create your impact on Friday. All around how to use and deploy AI into operational business, whether you are starting from zero and you're needing to literally build product and brand from start to finish, or you're actually implementing to existing operations, existing customer experience flows. So the AI for health was really the pad for what is possible. Like, look how easy this is to create a 24/7 resource that anybody can access for health-related matters, and health, not necessarily advice, but direction and understanding the foundational imbalances that are going on in someone's life and diet, and being able to access that information in a conversational way 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for darn near free, was the whole point of that concept. And so that's the kind of the pointer that I always talk to about with create your impact of what's possible. We run these systems, fully integrate into whatever is necessary, and the whole goal is to maximize impact without having to charge an arm and a leg for high ticket services, essentially. So giving coaches and consultants and impact driven businesses the opportunity to service well without having to have a large amount of overhead to manage, which does include their own salary in some cases. So giving them the ability to offer those solutions without having to staff it, which is usually the biggest overhead when you're talking about impact. That's what it's for. So I've been doing those every Friday since I launched them on Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a little confused.
I can see it in her face.
So, are you a little confused?
Well,
I am.
Yeah, I am. I think we're not disseminating what you're saying to a lower point that the
In layman's
average
term.
human being
Yeah.
can understand what
Yeah.
you're bringing to them.
I know, I talk to ChatGPT too much. It's a problem.
Yeah.
That's it. Who's your ideal client?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who can you help?
Yeah, so that's where what I've been doing for the past 2 years or so have been companies that are already in operation. So at this point, the ICPs refined down to $250,000 revenue producing companies or more per year. The other side of it, the create your impact side, is around new people, new entrepreneurs, new individuals who are stepping into market, wanting to monetize different skill sets, wanting to monetize their story. Maybe they have a podcast. I spoke to someone who's doing men's ministry and women's ministry just this morning. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of the direction of where I'm going for starter points.
So 0 to $250,000, or is that the ideal client?
So my primary clients that I work with that are that tent making side would be $250,000 or more.
$250,000.
Yeah.
So that's your core work then.
Yes, that's where we can do a lot of the scaling activities as far as really seeing overhead reduction in overall cost burden in the company, and then increased
Specifically for trades, or who?
Okay,
What?
so
You can't just say everybody.
Yeah, so we generally will work with agencies, and that's where kind of the unique factor comes in.
Okay.
So we definitely, we white label through agencies and work down through the agency structure in a lot of cases, and then we also work to the end user as well, depending on the relationship and their
So
size.
give me an example of an agency.
An agency like a roofing contracting agency. They do remodeling, they do roofing, they do solar, they do specifically focused around home, big home structure modifications.
Yeah.
And they will run ads for their clients, and when we plug our AI in on top of that and help the ads perform better from a conversion perspective, getting more appointments booked, automating the scheduling, automating the back end.
Okay, so AI automation,
Yeah,
marketing.
structures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back end
Yeah.
system structure.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We want
Nerd
we
stuff.
want
Super
you.
nerdy
We
stuff.
want yeah.
Well, we just want to lay it out there for our listeners.
And make
'cause
sure they can
need you.
understand.
Yeah,
right?
sorry,
Because
I'm
they
sorry.
want
Because
to
you're like
know.
way up there with your verbiage. But
Well, and that's, you know, I've gotten a lot
I
of feedback
thought
about that.
you were
yeah.
doing nutritional stuff. I was like,
He and I
is he
had this
selling-
conversation
I know.
before. Doggone it.
Oh, you did? Yeah. At first, I thought, oh, he's nutritional health and wellness. Are you selling Arbonne? Like,
No,
I was
no,
like
yeah,
going
no
way Relive, like all the nutritional supplemental stuff.
I mean, I have
But then you're
access to those
talking
things.
I
AI.
have access.
But I don't monetize those in the same way anymore, because the goal is really to give people the ability to build their vision, to build their impact, to build their drive into that community. And so many people, you know, there's so many different stories that people, every single person, kind of what I was talking on in the beginning, everybody can reach a different demographic. And so my goal is to empower every type of demographic that I can connect with and find, instead of being like, hey, look at me, I got the thing, come and talk to me. It's like, no, how can I empower everybody else around the table and give them the platform that they need to actually find the people that they're looking for solutions, for wellness, for, you know, AI, whatever it is, you know. And so yeah.
So that some of that, look at me, I got the answer, is not bad.
But it is good to have a niche.
We want to know that you got the answer to my
Precisely.
question, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so the last thing I'll end on there, you know,
Okay.
in the feedback that you give so eloquently, Frank, around communication and clarity in the communication. For me, it comes down to where am I operating? Where am I operable? You know what I mean? And I find myself in those environments to where I'm having to communicate dramatically large amounts of information to multiple different types of individuals over a very short period of time, in like boardroom type settings, virtual collaboration settings, in strategic consulting for companies. And that's really where, like, we rely on recordings, you know, so at the end of the day, and translation through ChatGPT, because there's so much to communicate in such a short period of time. Yeah, there's only so many ways to touch it all, you know, and so that's where, you know, generally with the translating that down through, I found it best to partner with individuals who have the eloquence that I lack in the process of the learning.
And
you know, as I
there
am
we
learning.
go. All right, then. The eloquence. I think
sir.
it's the opposite. I think you have the eloquence. We want the simplicity
Yeah,
of what
just-
you're trying to
Well,
communicate.
that's part of eloquence, you know. Is
Really?
yeah.
Is that more challenging for you to
Yeah.
like really dumb it down to layman's
I would
terms?
not use that word. I would not use those words. But to communicate it in a way that can be easily accessed by a large majority of people.
Yes.
Dumb it down. Doesn't mean a person's dumb.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
that
they're
just
dumb.
means
I
you're
mean-
creating it, putting it in a space that it can
And, yeah,
be.
that's the thing,
Everyone
you know.
gets it.
Understood.
Yeah.
Because I have my own weaknesses and dumb areas of my own brain.
Every
that,
human does.
Yeah,
that
we all
are
do.
dampened for sure.
Yeah,
Strengths,
yeah.
weaknesses, all the
Yes.
things.
Humanity is basically just a group of jacked up.
They're doing the best.
Yeah,
They're
doing the best that they can,
Yes.
right? And when we admit that, those are our commonalities. Obviously, we got
Yes.
more in common than we have differences, but we don't own that. We're always walking around trying to be the smartest person
Trying
in the
to be-
room.
yes.
Right? Yeah. And if
Exactly.
you ever get there, please leave that room because
Exactly.
you're in the wrong room.
Yeah, it's true.
You're
Yeah.
in the wrong room.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
And
Right.
people like that in a room irritate everyone in the room.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Right?
like Johnny back in second grade, right?
Yes.
So every time the teachers asked a question,
Well,
you just
I
wanted
stopped
to go
putting my
slap
hand
that
down.
taste out of
Yeah.
Johnny's mouth, right?
I stopped.
Johnny, get out of the room.
I had to stop putting my hand up. You know. And
You
just
were
let-
Johnny.
Yeah, were you Johnny?
I was Johnny, and it was out of a place because I didn't want to do my homework, so I was failing the class on the other side.
Oh my gosh.
Because all I could do was the stuff that was in front of me. You know, that was where I could perform well. So we all got those strengths and
We
weaknesses,
Yes.
right?
do.
Yes.
We do. Yeah, indeed. So, Lisa,
Yes.
we need to wind
Yeah,
down
we do.
because we got another group coming in after you guys,
Yeah.
right? Lisa has a question she want to ask of each of you.
All
so
right.
go
I'm
ahead.
actually going to start with you, John, since we just tackled
I know,
him so
please.
much.
a breather.
He's got to like wipe the sweat off his brow on that one. So, as you know, our listeners love that we're all about infusing hope and encouragement to the world. So we would like you to look at that camera and do just that. Encourage the world and then let them know how to reach you.
Oh, say that again.
Encourage the world.
Encourage the world. And then
Okay.
give them your contact info.
Yes, yes. Short encouragement from John Lee.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are not where you should be, and you know it. You could be better. Strive to be better. Be that best version of you. So when you meet yourself 5 years from now, you will be content with that person. You can reach me at john.lee3480@gmail.com.
Right.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Lee.
you.
Right. I said like a real trooper, man.
Yeah.
I said, Matador.
Your turn, sir.
I would say to each and every person that's able to watch this and is able to catch this part of the segment that you matter, and remember that you matter, and remember that every single person in your world, whether you realize it or not, would remember if you left and remember what you did while you were here. So make sure every single action that you take counts and is centered around the people that you love, the people that you're connected to, and continue to expand that each and every day. I don't normally do this. I'm going to do this just as a test, and if I absolutely have to do something to prevent any type of issues, I'll do something different. But you can reach me personally. My phone number is 719-726-4163. Go ahead and give me a text or a call. Leave me a message. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, Kristian Moore, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Along with the fantastic John Lee. That jacket is rocking, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Almost like a brother.
What gym do you work out in? I had to ask.
Lifestyle fitness.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
He's like
You do too.
barely fitting.
I know. You're
Oh,
like
no.
a bust out,
It's
man.
the winter weight.
Number one of Be Encouraged with Frank and Lisa is a wrap, and we'll be back soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Frank, and this is
Lisa.
We want to welcome you to the Be Encouraged show, where each week we reach an audience of 45,000 potential listeners
And growing.
across our social platforms and guest networks. Our mission is simple yet profound: to spread hope and encouragement, connecting our audience with stories that uplift and inspire.
So, whether you're a business owner looking to expand your reach or someone eager to share your journey of impact, our platform is designed to highlight the positive differences we can all make.
Getting involved with our show is easy and rewarding. First, you get to be a guest on this show. This is a fantastic opportunity for brand recognition as you share your story with our engaged listeners.
And Frank and I are now offering Q&A mastermind monthly sessions. And these are not just informative experiences, but we actually help with your business on strategic insights and provide a supportive group setting.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we? And if you're looking to drive targeted lead generation, consider sponsoring our show. We offer multiple tiers and customizable options to fit your marketing needs perfectly.
We have had over 350 guests, and they have been able to brand themselves and share all the goodness that they are doing here in community.
And it's not just about numbers. Our approach opens up a space for vulnerability, helping our guests genuinely connect with audiences. This authentic interaction is a powerful catalyst for community and business growth. Take, for example, we have partners here at Be Encouraged, and since getting involved with our platform, they've seen a staggering 900% growth in just 7 months here in the Springs.
So, if you're ready to make a significant impact, join us today at beencouraged.net.
And let's make the world a more hopeful and connected place, one story at a time.
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crestio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
Hello, I'm Frank, and this is
Lisa.
We want to welcome you to the Be Encouraged Show, where each week we reach an audience of 45,000 potential listeners
And growing.
across our social platforms and guest networks. Our mission is simple yet profound: to spread hope and encouragement, connecting our audience with stories that uplift and inspire.
So, whether you're a business owner looking to expand your reach or someone eager to share your journey of impact, our platform is designed to highlight the positive differences we can all make.
Getting involved with our show is easy and rewarding. First, you get to be a guest on this show. This is a fantastic opportunity for brand recognition as you share your story with our engaged listeners.
And Frank and I are now offering Q&A mastermind monthly sessions. And these are not just informative experiences, but we actually help with your business on strategic insights and provide a supportive group setting.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we? And if you're looking to drive targeted lead generation, consider sponsoring our show. We offer multiple tiers and customizable options to fit your marketing needs perfectly.
We have had over 350 guests, and they have been able to brand themselves and share all the goodness that they are doing here in community.
And it's not just about numbers. Our approach opens up a space for vulnerability, helping our guests genuinely connect with audiences. This authentic interaction is a powerful catalyst for community and business growth. Take, for example, we have partners here at Be Encouraged, and since getting involved with our platform, they've seen a staggering 900% growth in just 7 months here in the Springs.
So if you're ready to make a significant impact, join us today at beencouraged.net.
And let's make the world a more hopeful and connected place, one story at a time.
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crestio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
Hello, I'm Frank, and this is
Lisa.
We want to welcome you to the Be Encouraged Show, where each week we reach an audience of 45,000 potential listeners
And growing.
across our social platforms and guest networks. Our mission is simple yet profound: to spread hope and encouragement, connecting our audience with stories that uplift and inspire.
So, whether you're a business owner looking to expand your reach or someone eager to share your journey of impact, our platform is designed to highlight the positive differences we can all make.
Getting involved with our show is easy and rewarding. First, you get to be a guest on the show. This is a fantastic opportunity for brand recognition as you share your story with our engaged listeners.
And Frank and I are now offering Q&A mastermind monthly sessions. And these are not just informative experiences, but we actually help with your business on strategic insights and provide a supportive group setting.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we? And if you're looking to drive targeted lead generation, consider sponsoring our show. We offer multiple tiers and customizable options to fit your marketing needs perfectly.
We have had over 350 guests, and they have been able to brand themselves and share all the goodness that they are doing here in community.
And it's not just about numbers. Our approach opens up a space for vulnerability, helping our guests genuinely connect with audiences. This authentic interaction is a powerful catalyst for community and business growth. Take, for example, we have partners here at Be Encouraged, and since getting involved with our platform, they've seen a staggering 900% growth in just 7 months here in the Springs.
So if you're ready to make a significant impact, join us today at beencouraged.net.
And let's make the world a more hopeful and connected place, one story at a time.
From my dad's 40-year grind as an immigrant mechanic to personal traumas such as my mom's suicide attempts, I know life's hurdles. That's why Crestio's mission is to empower the underprivileged right here in Colorado Springs. Are you struggling with sales? We'll help with leads and conversions. Or are you overwhelmed? We'll help with automating your tasks and optimizing your business for staffing. Are you ready to transform? Scan today to start.
Hello, I'm Frank, and this is
Lisa.
We want to welcome you to the Be Encouraged Show, where each week we reach an audience of 45,000 potential listeners
And growing.
across our social platforms and guest networks. Our mission is simple yet profound: to spread hope and encouragement, connecting our audience with stories that uplift and inspire.
So, whether you're a business owner looking to expand your reach or someone eager to share your journey of impact, our platform is designed to highlight the positive differences we can all make.
Getting involved with our show is easy and rewarding. First, you get to be a guest on the show. This is a fantastic opportunity for brand recognition as you share your story with our engaged listeners.
And Frank and I are now offering Q&A mastermind monthly sessions. And these are not just informative experiences, but we actually help with your business on strategic insight.
Welcome back to the Be Encouraged Show with Frank.
Lisa.
We are so incredibly glad to have you here on Motivation Monday. What does that say?
Well, thank you so much to our platinum sponsor, Cressio, for this show. When you get a pay what you can consultation with them, you can learn how to penetrate the noisy market with brand recognition strategies. Visit Cressio.com to learn more and check out the flyer that we provided you guys later.
Yes, indeed. You know, we have nothing but dudes today.
Yes,
How do you feel being
I'm
around our
totally in my place. I'm good. I've always gotten along better with guys than gals. So
She thought she'd throw that in for free. So if you're women out there, don't reach out.
yeah, no, not a thing. I minister to a lot of women, but I'm talking on a friendship level. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
You're so awesome. Hey, we got some incredible guests on show number 2
Yes.
of the Be Encouraged show today.
Doctors in the house.
2 doctors in the house today. Dr. Peter Harris, my very good friend and founder of Hexis Chiropractic. Dr. Harris is dedicated to transforming lives through holistic, personalized care. A Life University graduate, also went to UConn as well for the undergraduate work, and I hate you. But,
Not literally.
Tar Heel country.
He specializes in addressing root causes of stress and other conditions with a focus on empowering patients to achieve optimal wellness. We also have Dr. Brody Miller, my homeboy.
Yeah. VetNet members too.
yeah, from North Carolina, and an awesome human. Brady's a licensed naturopathic doctor and memory coach. What?
What did you say?
I bet you get that all day.
Dr. Miller helps patients overcome stress, trauma, and brain injury symptoms through his innovative REBOUND or rebound method based in Colorado. He is committed to providing non-medication solutions for lasting healing.
Awesome.
Welcome,
Love
doctor. So it is so cool, Lisa, isn't it, to have 2 doctors on
Yes.
the same time?
Who's our panel host here? Do we know?
I believe I am.
You are.
This gentleman.
Okay. That means we get to pick on you more. Just get ready.
I'm ready.
He's like, bring it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
East Coast, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's right. New England.
So we can start with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background personally, your life story?
Okay. My life story.
Yeah.
That goes a long way.
yeah.
Well, I'm a
You're only
ripe,
28.
Yeah, he's
Can't go
I know. I'm a ripe 28, okay? So, yeah, I was born in Connecticut, and do you want to know my story about how I got into chiropractic?
Just a little bit of your family general story.
Yeah,
Tell us
just
a little bit about
before that.
what created Peter.
What created Peter? My parents.
That's good.
Yeah. No, I come from a great family. We're very Italian. Connecticut has the most percentage of Italians, if you didn't know, in the United States.
Do you cook Italian?
Of course.
Oh, nice. What's your specialty dish?
I mean, I can, like, on special occasions, you can do a lasagna, you know.
Nice.
Definitely. I mean, pasta is just always a go-to.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I love
I like a nice meatball.
Yeah. Give me
Yeah.
a spicy meatball, man.
I can do spicy meatball.
I'm making spaghetti tonight, so I'm
Making
actually
me hungry, y'all. What the heck?
All right.
So last night I started. This is why I was a little bit late, but I'm making for tonight's dinner spaghetti dinner. So I decided to make a homemade sourdough, rosemary garlic bread. It is, and John was, because I had to roast the garlic ahead of time. I mean, I'm talking real roasted garlic bulbs within this loaf. Like, it's going to be
It's
legit.
the real deal.
The real deal.
Don't do that before shows, okay?
We're hungry. We haven't eaten
I
yet.
know, right?
No one ever brings us lunch, and I don't know why.
You gotta keep
Yeah,
away the
you
vampires
love-
from all that garlic.
She
So
loves talking about that.
I do. I'm a
nothing wrong
total
with
foodie.
that.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Getting back on track.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's Italian.
Italian food. Yeah.
Big family?
Not a big family. I have 2 older brothers and 3 cousins. My mom only has a sister, and my dad's an only child. So we actually come from a small family. I call my second and third cousins my aunts and uncles and all that, you know. So smaller family, but we are very close, I would say. So you're probably thinking, what the heck brought you out to Colorado? Because everyone lives on the East Coast, right? And really it's because of lifestyle. It's because of I want to see the mountains. I want to do all the outdoorsy events or outdoorsy sports and activities that Colorado provides. And now I'm kind of influencing the family a little bit to come out here too. My parents came out here and they said, that's kind of nice.
Beautiful.
So
it's a lot of sun.
So we'll bring more Italian
days of sunshine here.
That's beautiful. Anyways, back on track. So basically, I grew up in Connecticut. I went to UConn, and I kind of switched around. I originally went for engineering. I was good at math and science. Well, guess what? I didn't like engineering. I thought, this is not for me.
I'm married to a software engineer.
Well,
but he's a dance instructor at night, so he balances that out.
There you go. See, for me, it just didn't work, right? Everyone has their own thing. So I remember talking to one of my buddies, and he said, man, I'm in kinesiology. I thought, what's kinesiology? That's a big word. But I went into it because it had to do with sports. It had to do with, athletic backgrounds. And I come from an athletic background. Played football, wrestled, played lacrosse, so very physical. And so I went to kinesiology, graduated, and then after graduation, it was New Year's time. And it's, it's actually around this time. And it was, I went to my family chiropractor, and he said, he gives everyone a questionnaire. And the questionnaire on it said, what's your New Year's resolution? And in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm about to graduate from UConn. I don't know what I'm doing after school. And I'm in a chiropractic office, and I've been going to see this chiropractor for, at that time, probably 9 or 10 years.
Oh my.
And so I thought, let me just appease these people and just apply to chiropractic school. Right? And so it was so funny because it's almost as if when my chiropractor saw it, he was like, what? I had no idea. And so he said, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I want to help you out. I'm going to give you a job. I'm going to give you all the worst jobs a chiropractor has to do. Because if you still like it, you're meant to be a chiropractor.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm there, reading x-rays, and I'm doing patient notes, and I'm doing all these things. And in there, he's sprinkling fun things for me too, right? Reading x-rays is really cool, right? So some of that was really interesting. But, I was learning about the philosophy of chiropractic. I realized there's so much more depth to this profession, and I was sold. And so after that, I went to Life University, which is in Marietta, Georgia. Georgia. That's right.
So Life is renowned, though. It really has an incredible reputation as a chiropractic school.
It is the biggest school in the world, technically. It's because chiropractic is now becoming more international. But anyways, get back on track. So going to school, met a couple buddies that they come from chiropractic families, and I just got integrated with this whole chiropractic profession. I just basically people just word vomited all this amazing stuff at me, and I was taking it all. And I'm so glad to have a mixture of coming from a good family, but also having really good friends that just happen to pop up at the right time that I still keep in contact to this day. And so after graduating, I practiced in Connecticut for a year for a great chiropractor. And then I moved here. I moved to Boulder, Colorado.
Because of this beautiful Brazilian, right?
Well, not because of her, but I met her while being here. So gosh.
Oh my goodness, he's going straight to your love life. That was going to be my next question, because I don't see a ring on the finger.
No, not yet.
Well, not yet. Are you supposed to wear it when you are engaged?
No.
Right. No. See, so I'm not married.
Are you engaged?
Engaged.
To a Brazilian
recently.
woman?
Yes.
Okay.
beautiful Brazilian one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's throw
I
that
would
in
expect
for, let's
nothing
throw that
else.
in for
Carol,
free.
you're very beautiful.
Yes. Go, woman.
Have you met
rock
her?
it. Oh, yeah, I met
Yeah?
her.
I haven't met her yet.
You'll meet her one
Okay.
day.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
sure
worry.
I will.
And you can meet my new dog that I have too.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that her dog?
No, my dog. I just adopted her yesterday.
Oh,
Congrats.
congratulations.
Thank you.
What kind of dog?
She's a Keeshond. So a Keeshond they're like a mid-sized dog, anywhere between 30 to 50 pounds. And she's got more silver and black hair, really good in the winter. I mean, gosh, you could probably pull up a picture. And they're really pretty dogs.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at his office on Friday, and he told me he was adopting, right? Because he wanted, this kid practice thing. He decides to have babies. He want to practice on
thing.
the puppy.
Not a bad way to get started. So
Well, I told my oldest daughter, I said, start with a plant. Then you get to get a dog. Now she's got a dog. She's
Start small.
26. So I'm like, start that
Plants
way.
need a lot of work, man.
They do, right? Yeah.
My wife is incredible with plants.
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I killed a cactus, so I'm trying with the plants. Although this summer I did great with the plants. I did not kill one plant. John was very proud of me.
That's impressive.
Don't tell people you killed a
That is
cat.
good.
that's
It's
tough to
true.
do. That's a tough thing
It
to
is
do.
a tough thing to do. But
Even I can nurture a cactus.
But that tells you where I came from with my background. I had no knowledge, and then now I kept them alive for the first year last year. So it was a big deal.
That is a big
Pat on
deal.
your back.
Yes, exactly.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
We'll come back and talk about your
Yeah.
chiropractic world in a minute because you are totally into it.
Yes.
All in.
He's all in, man. I'm
That's what's
telling
up.
you.
No
he
turning
is.
back.
Well,
And
yeah.
with what both of you do is so collaborative. I love that you guys
Know
you brought
each
him
other.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys meet at VetNet or 1 Million Cups?
I think we met at VetNet.
VetNet, yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Brody, give us some background
Yeah.
here, man. Who are you?
Who am I? That I could go on for hours and hours, but I mean, in a nutshell, I help people with brain injuries because I had a brain injury myself, really bad one 11 years ago, and I realized that when you don't have your brain health, then you don't have anything. And I think of a lot of professional athletes and like people that are in combat sports and UFC. You're seeing that more and more often, that these people are making their money and then they're dropping out because you realize you can have $100 million, but if it's not working up there, then you don't have anything.
Yeah.
So
That's
Yeah.
true.
Where did your brain injury come from?
it came 11 years ago. I was outside of a nightclub and I got in a fight with a bouncer. And that's where my brain injury journey started. It was out in the middle of the street, and they took
Were you
me.
drunk?
I was, yeah. I was. I mean, you don't make good decisions as a young man, and then on top of that, adding a little bit of booze, then it completely shuts off all activity. But then, fast forward a few years after that, I had to have brain surgery because there was a brain leak, and I was having epileptic seizures and. But when I realized that the brain could change, heal, and adapt, then I was like, oh, okay, here's the science to show that it can.
Yeah.
I had the aha moment. And then it's like what we do on a moment-to-moment basis matters. Like,
Yes.
really does matter. And I think people overlook that for some reason, that like what I do now, my micro decisions throughout the day, they do add up.
Yes,
you know, like
sir.
if I'm sitting around watching TikToks and flooding myself with nicotine and whatever, like, or I can choose to eat healthy and take the next right step, then
Work out.
work out, and you feel better because of it. So, but like that's it in a nutshell. I mean, I love studying the brain, and that's my dedication.
Where were you when you had this fight that you lost?
It was called Scully's. Ironically, Scully's. I don't know if it's still around in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, in North
Sometimes
Carolina.
I'll pass through there, and it's no longer there, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I can say that with no BS. That was the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Tell us a little bit about you growing up and stuff.
Wait, I have a question real quick before you go there.
You're going to be health-wise?
No. Have you ever wanted to hold a conversation with that bouncer?
Oh, well,
No, I've completely forgiven him, and if I saw him today, I would give him a hug, probably. Like,
Yeah.
quite honestly, like,
That's
you know,
that's
because
awesome.
Yeah.
either way, like, if you hold on to resentment, we know what that does.
yeah,
you
it's
know,
awful.
like,
Oh, yeah.
there's no space for growth,
Yes.
and yeah, if he's out there, I mean, you know, God bless him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Just curious.
That was a great question.
Thank
though.
you,
It
friend.
really was. You know, because we only have so much energy
Mm-hmm.
to use during the course of a day.
Say it.
Totally.
And we get a choice of where we use that
Yes.
energy.
Mm-hmm.
I can say today that I hold nothing against one human being on earth. Nothing.
That's
I really
good.
don't. Took me a long time to get
I
there.
can't say that.
Yeah, I
I'm
know you
working
can't,
on that.
But you are working.
I am working
That's
on
the deal,
it.
because
Mhm.
you want that
Yeah.
outcome.
Yes,
Totally.
I do want that outcome.
Anything, hijacking our opportunities to add to humanity with a clear conscience, clear mind, and a clear way. That's where vision comes from
Mhm.
clarity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm so glad. It took me a while, trust
Yeah.
me.
How
Yeah.
old were you when you finally got to that moment?
I was 60.
Really?
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. That was
You know, I didn't even know.
like just yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And tomorrow I'll be 70.
Yeah.
Funny how that works, right? I didn't know that I didn't because I was raised that you don't hold resentment against your dad. That's your dad.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what he does and
Yeah.
stuff, right? And when I walked by that casket, I knew that I had I broke down because I had this deep-rooted resentment from what he did and the things that happened through my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Sometimes it's not even conscious. It takes an event to bring that to the fore.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad you said that, Dr.
Yeah.
Brody.
Totally,
You
I'm-
rock.
I appreciate that.
And you're so young, and to have that wisdom already.
Right?
I mean, I
I'll
didn't
be
have that
60
opinion.
You don't have to
tomorrow.
wait till you're 60.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we live in a different time frame. I think
Yeah.
we're talking about having these conversations, and that's a blessing because, I mean, go back 20 years ago, you didn't talk about your feelings. I mean, that didn't matter if you're a man
Especially if
or
you're
a
a dude.
woman.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially if you're a dude.
if you're
Right.
a dude.
Especially you're a black dude.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Totally.
serious.
Yeah.
We do haircuts for what we call it the Black Man's Project, and we give free haircuts to black men because they won't talk about mental health concerns.
Mm-hmm.
And we get them in a place where they're sitting down, someone's razoring their head, and they got to pay attention.
Yeah.
Right? And we go in and talk to them about mental health
I
concerns.
love that.
That's
so
powerful. I mean,
Yeah.
there's power in vulnerability. You
Yes.
know, like,
There
and I
is.
appreciate you sharing that. And every time more of us can stand up and say, "This is what happened to me," but that's the past now.
Yeah.
It opens an avenue for somebody that's
It
struggling.
does.
It's a
Yes.
Me Too moment, baby.
Yes.
Totally,
Right?
it is. Yeah.
But we were all raised to just put our best foot forward, be fake, act like I'm fine. And nowadays the cliche is, "Oh, I'm so busy." It's like, really? I mean, I hate
That's
that
the
answer.
new I'm fine. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the new
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fine.
Like people are supposed to be really impressed by your business.
Yeah. The other day, I'm like, "How are you doing?" "Oh, busy, busy, busy." I'm like, "Oh, okay." What does that mean?
I mean, really.
Tell me more.
Yeah. I made $4 in 6 weeks, but I'm busy.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Exactly.
450. It was 450.
Yeah,
Yeah, and spent 8 in gas.
Yes.
Oh my! Can you tell we're on the same page? Yeah.
Linked up.
We are linked up.
I'm so excited this Wednesday. We're doing our big 2025 BHAG, our big audacious goal.
Big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to Broadmoor
Yep.
and hang out and talk about what our goal. We need to be in a big place to envision big things.
That's right.
And I can't take any credit for that. It was all Lisa.
Yeah, it was. He's like, the Broadmoor. I said, yeah, we're having breakfast and lunch there.
She's mine. Well, I'm going.
Not just lunch.
You didn't know that, did you?
Just being around that, you know, like
Exactly.
Yeah,
And we're gonna go to all different areas, and because we're big dreamers, and so do our attention
big
span.
dreamers, not big
Big
drinkers.
dreamers.
Dreamer.
Unless you
Oh, stop it!
Remember big dream.
We're not gonna be drinking spirited stuff.
No.
but you're gonna get in the spirit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Naturally.
In the spirit.
Yeah.
That's right.
I always get inspired when I'm at the Broadmoor. Yeah.
Totally.
Oh my. You know, I was looking at this question that I had here. You know, you do good work. I want you to describe to our audience what crazy good looks like for you this year.
What does
In
crazy?
2025. Yeah, that's stepping up. You're doing really good right now, but what does crazy good look like?
Man, I just got a little fire in
Yeah.
my seat right now. Okay. Man, I just want to see lots and lots of patients. I know I have a skill that people need. People just need to know what I do, and I'm very passionate about taking care of, especially pregnant women. You know, they give birth. They're going through the biggest transformational change any person can go through.
Yep.
It's bigger than bigger than puberty.
Mm-hmm.
Pregnancy is amazing, and there's a lot of shifting bones. Ligaments get all tightened up, and there's this and that. So, you know, I want to make sure that the future children are taken care of. And it starts with the pregnant mama, right? And then it also does start with the children too. I'm not here to take care of adults once they become broken. I want to help kids before anything even happens.
Wow.
Right? I mean, in life, we experience stressors, right?
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, you experience a stressor, and you're grateful for that, right? There's gonna be stressors in our life,
Yeah.
right? But it's to help your body adapt as well as you can before that stressor happens, so that when it does happen, you're prepared, or you can better recover from it. That's the mission.
Well, give us a number. Because
number
we're
of
talking about
patients?
we're talking about crazy good.
Yeah.
Here. So you
When
wanna
we have
see
you
that.
back on our show in a year, you're gonna say,
Right, yeah.
I went from
Okay.
this to this.
So usually chiropractors, they usually measure it as in how many patient visits they see a week.
Okay.
And so I worked at an office that the first office that I was at, they were seeing 900 patients a week.
Oh
That's a
my
lot.
God.
That is a
That
ton.
is a lot.
900.
Between
But that's multiple doctors, right?
3 doctors,
Yeah.
you know,
So
and then
that's still 300 apiece.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I worked in an
That's a
office that's 400 a week. You know, at this point, I'm seeing anywhere between 40 or 50. I'm
But
2
tell
months.
me, 2 months in.
I'm 2 months in.
Yeah.
Right. So I would love to get to 200 a week after year 1. That would be fantastic. And it's not about the number, because, you know, my reputation is on the line. Every single person I meet. I don't want to grow too quickly either. I want to grow, but I also want to make sure that each patient gets the care that they need. So I want to make sure I scale appropriately so that each patient gets their unique, personalized, specific care that they need. Because we're all different, you know?
We are.
What is your differentiators? Because you know there's a lot of chiropractors in this town.
Right. What makes me different? Well, what's nice is, I mean, the office is a beautiful office. You
Yeah,
saw.
man, it's sweet.
Really?
Yeah, it's
It's
in a
nice.
good location, right?
Is it your
You
own
were-
personal office, or are
Yeah.
you co?
It's my
Office,
office.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
nice.
all me.
Okay.
I have an in-house.
Big.
Really?
I have an in-house X-ray machine. Yeah, I.
Oh, that's huge. I
Yes.
love that.
So I do take X-rays in-house, which is very nice. To see is to know. I mean, I saw a patient the other day where I thought, oh, it feels like it's on the left. Took an X-ray, realized it was on the right. I adjusted her, and she's like, oh my gosh, I haven't slept like that in years, you know? So
That's what I'm hoping to
it's-
see when I leave you.
Yeah. I'll give you answers. I'll give
Special
you answers.
treatment.
That's
Yeah.
right. Differentiators. I'm somebody who, it's so funny. I learned a lot of techniques when I was in school. I mean, there's more than 300 techniques in chiropractic.
Oh, my.
Now, I'm not saying I know more than 300, right? But I know and I'm going to throw out a bunch of names here, but I know TRT, Gonset, Diversified, Activator, Thompson. There's all these techniques that when I have a patient, I'm experimenting on them. I'm really trying to figure out what works best for them.
Yeah.
And there's a trust process, right?
Yeah.
One big thing for me is I need to make sure they trust me, right? Because if they don't trust me, the adjustment's not going to go well.
Yep.
I'm doing something that it can be really scary for people. I'm moving a bone and it's making a sound, right? That people are not used to that. So
I am.
when I
am too. I'm like, crack me. Let's go.
So,
Every time I get out of bed, it's making
Yeah.
a sound, baby.
This guy. So when
His
I
knees are acting up in the wintertime. He's hurting.
Don't worry, I'll take care of you. But when I do my consultation, I was explaining this to you on Friday, but I mentioned that when I do a consultation, the goal is to gain trust, no matter where the person is at, and I try to make sure that you're not here because of pain, but what pain you're not able to do because of pain,
Yes.
or you're not being the person you want to be because of pain. A lot of people are saying pain is making me feel really irritable. They realize, man, this is affecting my relationships. I'm not the same person when I'm with my husband, my wife, my kids. I feel like sometimes I can't sleep well, so when I wake up, I lash out at people. So that's the real thing. It's those moment-to-moment situations that, what if you just were able to feel a little bit better and able to function a little bit better, and you'd be in a better headspace? Those little moments add up, right? We don't measure necessarily life and how many years we live, but our year, but basically how much life we have in our years is what really matters.
That's right.
Totally.
I love that. Yes.
So I don't want people to sacrifice their health, because then they're also sacrificing their ability to obtain resources and ability to spend time in the areas that fulfill them the most, which is, me personally, is with family, but it could also be your hobbies. Could be usually it's with people, but it's things you do as well. So I try to make sure that is by far the most important thing I do on my first visit with a patient, is gaining trust with the person. And it's done authentically.
Indeed.
Yeah,
You do it well.
I try to.
Yeah. No, you just say, thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
There we go. I can't stand I try to, right? Because if I'm telling you you're doing it well, you're not trying. You'd have to try not to. Okay, fair enough.
It's a good point. It's a dang good point.
Right?
I mean,
Yeah, you are. So, yeah, Brody, you rock. You know, man, you are so on point when you say that I'm working on the brain.
Yeah.
And an incredible amount of pain created this space. Is your wife Brazilian as well?
Argentine.
Argentine.
Nice. I was married to an Argentine man once.
That's right. That's right.
Sounds like another life.
To the curve. To the curve.
No more tango. No more tangos.
He actually did not dance.
Oh, you did?
No.
Okay.
He was a drummer.
He had a lot of things against him, didn't he? I know too much.
Yes.
You can't unsee certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how long you guys been married now?
We've been married since right before COVID, so going on 5 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Man, that's so cool. No babies?
Not yet.
Yeah,
But when we're planning on having one, I'll be hitting up this gentleman right
Yes.
here.
Right on,
You know.
right on. There you go. You're welcome.
Build business.
Yeah, that's right.
Take care of babies. Love it.
Yeah, I love this quote, and I know I love Frost's quote because it really, really kind of hits where we are, Dr. Brody. You know, I should be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere, ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled, and that has made all the difference. What is your road less traveled?
Wow, man. I mean, I got chills when you're reading that, because when I think of the brain, it really is, it's pathways that are formed, and just like the road less traveled is the right road, because you know when you're feeling resistance, and you know when you're feeling slight discomfort, that you're building a new pathway, like by doing so. So it's the things that don't feel good in the moment that in the end are going to be great, like having a tough conversation or eating the right food. It doesn't feel good in the moment, then 95% of the time it's going to be good for you in the long term. And if it feels good, other than sexual relationships, I'll say that's a different story.
Oh my gosh.
But I had to throw that out there, because there are exceptions.
And all the guys say, hallelujah.
There
Don't shout us
are
out, we're preaching good.
there are
The women are saying hallelujah too. What are you talking about?
I had to throw that
Man, come on. Carrie Ann, help me out over there.
I don't turn red, so I can talk about anything.
out. I know you're lucky, man. You're not like me. We're blonde hair, blue eyes. We all turn red. But it's true though that if you're doing something in the moment that doesn't feel good, 99% of the time, it's the right thing you should be doing. So
I like that.
I do love that quote. It really hits home.
It really does, doesn't it? I tell you, and you're doing some work. Walk us through, if you would, Brody. You use the rebound method.
I do, yes.
Yeah, I'm coming to Dr. Brody because my brain's jacked up. Don't say anything. And walk us through a summary of what you do to help me.
Absolutely. So I have a book that's coming out January 15th where it's going to be explained in depth. So if you want to dive deeper.
What's the name of it?
It's called Brain Rescue, and it's a 90-day blueprint to reclaim your memory after a brain injury or concussion.
Oh my, yes.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And the paperback copy will be out March 15th. But the rebound method, it comes from my own identity as being the rebounder. As somebody who used to play basketball, I was good at rebounding, but then I realized that I rebounded from difficult circumstances. So that's the backbone of where this came from. And the R, it stands for refocus. So it's not just about focusing on something, it's about refocusing, because we always get distracted.
Yes.
And so within that acronym, it's the very first stage of the 7-step process, is to help you refocus through rest, through exercise, through a different set of modalities. They're going to help you at least get the foundations back, because the foundations are the most important. So that's the first step. The E in the rebound method, it stands for movement. So I had a little bit of a brain fart myself.
That's okay. That's all right.
I get it all the time. You're fine.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, it's essential to engage your brain. The E stands for engage. So activation, engagement. So the B stands for brain, and that's an acronym within an acronym. Brain stands for breathing, repetition, association, intensity, and novelty. So these are the pillar stones of neuroplasticity and how that can you can apply that to your life. The O stands for optimization. So once we get to a certain point, we want to start optimizing things. The U stands for understand, so getting a deep foundation of what they understand. The N I want to blab on, but the N stands for nexus, which means connection. And the most important stage, other than the beginning, is D is for dedicate. And dedicating yourself to a long-term recovery, and making sure that you're focused on the long term, doing all of the right steps and reinforcing them.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yes, indeed.
I love that.
Woo, my brain feels better already. Just you describing that, right? Yeah. Yeah, man, that is so awesome, man. Tell us a little bit, Doctor, about a hard knock portion of your life.
The hardest part of my life.
A hard knock portion of your life.
A hard knock portion.
Remember Annie saying it's a hard knock
It's
life.
a hard knock life. I got it. Yeah, I always, actually, it's funny because I was reading a book and they said you should always have, you should always think of I think it's the most physically demanding thing you've done, the most mentally demanding, and the most emotionally demanding thing you've ever done in life. Physically, it was definitely wrestling. I remember it was my junior year of high school, and wrestling's a very disciplined sport.
Yes.
It's like wintertime comes around, everyone wants to watch a basketball game, and everyone looks at the wrestlers like, what the heck are they doing? They're sweating on each other, right? Yeah. But going through that process and learning how to become a very disciplined person, and wrestling people where the year before I thought I could never do this. And then I ended up beating some of these people in this tournament, right?
Wow.
So it was that was the most physically demanding, but I think what really is behind that is I remember going into a wrestling match where I was just very scared. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm wrestling this guy who is one of the best in the state, this and that. And when I go back to family, it means a lot because in that moment, my brother saw me and he was able to give me encouraging words, right? I could get emotional now, but
yes, absolutely.
And it was very, very inspiring, very motivating. So there's that. Most mentally demanding thing was definitely college. It was going into my last semester at school. I mentioned, I had that New Year's resolution, right? But going to that last year of school, I already basically lost a year because, my goal was finish school in 4 years. So I took summer classes, all this stuff. But my last semester was very, very difficult, filled with all sorts of very difficult classes. I had to write, 3 research papers that were all like 20 pages long, and had to take biochem, which, 50% fail or whatever. So I'm like, oh gosh. And I realized that going and learning about this stuff, it's so funny because you mentioned the rebound method and you use these acronyms and you can remember these things, right? So it's so cool you mentioned that. It's because I would learn the information and then I would also teach it. Like, your stuff so well, I know you do, because you teach it. Yeah. You do it every day.
Totally.
And I realized that teaching the material is so fun. I love educating. I love owning information, understanding it. And even though it was so mentally demanding, it was so rewarding because I realized, wow, I love teaching, right? And then the most emotionally demanding was, it was a girl.
Always a girl.
Sorry, Carol. It was the most emotionally demanding. It was my first or second week moving to Atlanta. After my girlfriend was in, my ex-girlfriend, all right? Ex-girlfriend. We are done.
Way done.
Yeah, so we met in Connecticut. I moved to Atlanta. She broke up with me 2 weeks into being there. And of course, I was heartbroken. And months go by. I'm like, how do I do this?
And you moved there for her?
I didn't move there for her, no.
Okay.
It was more of just this understanding of we're going to be together forever, right? Nope. So, in the moment, it was very difficult. But looking back, I'm like, whew, dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Although I'm have to call you out, as an entrepreneur, I think that you can throw all 3 of those on top of the taxing aspect of all of that.
So actually, this is interesting. My buddy, he's so good, Cooper, he's so great. He mentioned something. Okay, when you go into business, it's not that it's hard work, it's that it's a lot of work. We know what we're doing, right? We have the knowledge, we have the skills. and hopefully we know how to communicate with people, right? Those are the three most important things. So really the difference is, can you organize yourself where you can just cross off that list one thing at a time? I think a lot of business owners, they get so in their heads and they're like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. I have to go to that place and I got to talk with that person. I got to do this thing on the computer. It's like, write it down one thing at a time. What's the most important? One thing at a time, right? Prioritize. I swear, it's so simple to say, and but you just do it. And there's something about crossing it off where it's just so invigorating. So even though, yes, it's we think of it as hard work, I think of it as just a lot of work and just get one thing done at a time.
Yeah. If you bring it back to just the next right step, then it's not so overwhelming anymore.
So now that we're going into 2025, I'll ask both of you this. What is your wisdom that you can give other business owners on goal setting, on just crushing it in 2025?
That's a good one. I honestly don't feel 100% qualified for it. I mean, I've created some success and I'm about to put out a book and I know I'm heading the right direction. But the one thing I would say is always start from the heart, because that's the most powerful energetic force that we have. It's right there. It's not here. And so that's a big part of what I teach my patients is a large part of recovery of this comes from here as well.
Very good.
So just start from the heart.
I love that.
But
So there's a reason why I named my practice Hexis Chiropractic. It's a Greek word that means the active condition of keeping moral virtue. It's because people notice that I can be a very disciplined person. So when you come into the office, you know what you're getting. So make sure you're consistent. You show up every day and make sure that, before I go into the office, usually I don't listen to music. I'm in my head just thinking, all right, someone is praying for me today. I don't know who it is. It could be every single person. So I think about that. They're all praying for me. Aww. So I need to give, and they may not even know it, right? But I think intuitively we all want someone to give us something that we're lacking. And sometimes we just don't know in what form that is. So I imagine that in the way I do it, that's the form that they need to receive it. Right. So there's that, and then there's also one big thing I want to do is cultivate community. I'm new to this community in Colorado Springs, and I come from a very tight-knit family, and I want to be able to do that here in the Springs. Not saying I have to be friends with 500,000 people or however many people live in this area, but I mean, if I can get, tens, maybe hundreds of people, I mean, that'd be fantastic. Of actual good relationships.
But you're doing some things to foster that very thing. Tell them what you're doing.
Well, I'm trying to think of everything, right? So the cool thing is that one of my networking partners, Stacy, she cuts hair for the homeless, and so I'm trying to help her collect clothes for the homeless. So hats, coats, gloves. We're going to winter, right? Yes. So, we're trying to collect all that right now. So I'm collecting all those clothes in the office, and we're collecting food as well that we're going to distribute probably over the next few weeks, probably over Christmas. Okay. And, just little things like I try to do the little things. Like when you come in for your consultation, you're going to see it. But, I always write down, I try to personalize my message for the patient. Welcome to the office, right? Frank, right? I try to write your name. I give you a thank you letter. If you sign up for care, here's a thank you letter. Like, thank you for trusting me with your health, right? I have this, I did a remodel of my office, and so there's this big pull in the middle. You saw it, but there's a big pull, right? It's structural, so I need it there. So I said, you know what, let's call it the pillar patients, right? So the patients can leave their testimonials, they can leave their name on there.
I love that.
And it's the beginning of the office, right? Yeah. They are the pillar patients. Even if you move halfway across the world, you're still a pillar patient.
Yes.
You're still on there, and you're still part of this community.
That's cool.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Is that with a Sharpie pen, or is it actually sticking a note?
So we're sticking notes.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a surface where you can really write your name
Okay.
and keep it on the pillar. But
I haven't been there yet.
Don't worry, I'll super glue those darn things on there.
Yeah. It's a great idea. I love that.
Yeah, I'm going to be a pillar, not a caterpillar.
Yes. You're definitely not a caterpillar. You're a butterfly.
I like that.
Fair enough.
You'll be a beautiful butterfly. How
Yeah,
about that?
exactly.
Butterfly. Tell us how your life transcends the victim mentality, Brody, and how you spiral up, and how you're flourishing and evolving in the space that you're in today.
Man, that's a good question, because it's truly a daily battle when you get up in the morning and you have that decision throughout the day. Things are going to happen that are going to either put you into a state of like victimhood or overcoming that. And I think it really just comes down to the amount of time we're all like have that inner child in us. We all have that like that wants to cry out when this doesn't go our way.
Yeah.
But like it's about like, okay, I realize that that's the case, but let's just refocus and let's just do the next right thing, and we're gonna be good over a long enough period of time. So like trusting in that process. And we all self-sabotage, like
Yes.
in small ways or big ways, like
Yeah.
really big ways at certain times in my life. But just realizing we do self-sabotage, but let's just take that and do the next right thing. I mean, that's always going to be my answer, but for almost anything, but especially that daily battle with victimhood, because it's so easy to fall back in that. So
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Lisa, we have to wind down.
Yeah, we
here.
do.
Yeah. What a
It
great.
goes so fast.
I know, especially incredible humans.
Yes.
Come in
This
here,
is good
right?
content.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah. So I asked him.
All right. So I'll start with you.
Okay.
As you know, our listeners are all about how we love to infuse hope and encouragement. That's our big mission on the show. So we want to give you a moment to look at that camera and encourage the world, and then let them know how to reach you.
Okay. Let's see. Health is the only thing you can go throughout your entire life, and the better it's optimized, the better you live, right? I always imagine that when I want to be a grandparent, and do I want to be the grandparent that is, sitting in a wheelchair and can't play with the grandkids, and my quality of life is not where I want it to be. No, I want to be the grandparent who's able to get down on the floor, play with the toys, actually living life.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Indeed.
Right? And that's, I know Dr. Brody, I'm glad I brought Dr. Brody. He agrees completely with me. Obviously, we all agree. It's just, it's the little things that add up, and we got to make sure that when we have those moments, right, every moment is either a moment of learning or a moment of celebration. And we got to make sure that at every moment, if we are suffering, if we are in pain, or if we're in discomfort, or we got to make sure that we have to learn from it, and we have to learn how to make the right decision the next time, right, and try and be consistent.
Indeed. And how do they reach you, Peter?
How can they reach me?
How can the audience reach you?
Well, I'm all over social media because my Brazilian fiance now. That's right. So yeah, we're on Facebook and Instagram at Hexis Chiropractic. Our website is also hexischiropractic.com, and my office is here in Colorado Springs. We're right across the street from the Chapel Hills Mall.
Awesome.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too, sir.
My time. Well, the main thing I would say to anybody who's struggling out there is that you're not defined by your past, by the things that you've experienced, by the things that have happened to you, but you are defined by how you respond to what happens to you. So take ownership, forgive yourself, forgive others, but make sure that when you're buckling up your pants or just getting ready for the day, that you do take ownership, that how you react to life situations does define you, and be careful of the story you're telling yourself, because our stories are what ultimately creates our lives.
Yeah.
And so if you want to reach out to me, you can find me on all social media platforms at Dr. Brody Miller, or you can sign up to the priority list for my new book. You go to dr-bro.com/priority_list, and I'll give you a few free chapters and 50% off the book.
Awesome. Be sure to put that on the comments of the show as well, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yes. Wow. So much fun.
Yes.
So much fun, right? Love having you guys here. You know, before we wrap, we have want to make sure that we spotlight our sponsors once more, Lisa.
Yes. So Wesco Insurance. Karen loves helping people save and get the best service ever. Contact her through our website at beencouraged.net. And Planet Duct, Mr. Brandon Kirk and his team offer astronomical air duct cleaning with the most powerful vacuum trucks in Colorado, stronger than the vacuum of space.
We just love saying that.
We do.
Right, wouldn't. Stronger than the vacuum of space. You know, more and more people are seeing the benefits of sponsorship with us. We're now up to 25 sponsors and growing. Visit us at beencouraged.net to become a sponsor and get your business name out to our growing audience of thousands of people every week. Our platinum sponsor has seen an aggressive 900% growth in their business in just 7 months. Like and follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn, and join us on our journey to extend hope and encouragement and help people realize their potential to networking, collaboration, and community involvement. And remember, if you want to join us internationally, go to beencouraged.net, go to our website, and select International via Instagram to join us live from anywhere in the world.
And we need to have Carol introduce us to Brazilians, because we have not been in Brazil yet.
We hadn't been in Brazil.
Yep.
Yeah, 12 countries so far.
Yes.
You'll be in for a treat.
Yeah. Argentina as well.
Yeah, that too.
exactly. Hook us up.
World tour.
We could just do a Instagram live with them.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah, we would love to do that. As always, my partner in crime and the incredible Lisa Sennett and I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
And Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year. We're off for a few weeks. We'll be back early 2025 to again infuse hope and encouragement into community through organic conversations with incredible human beings. Thanks for being a part of